So what are we doing today? We're installing a bar sink. Not quite. This is my DIY hot tent stove, soon to be hot tent stove. It is a bar sink from LK, stainless steel, 304. It is 18 gauge, which should be fine. You can see the garbage disposal hole right there. I think it's a standard 3.5 inch. I'll have to measure to be sure. I probably have to bore that out to about 4 inches for my chimney. I'd like to use a 3 inch, but I'll probably end up doing a 4 just to fit that well. There's some sound deadening material on here and some rubber pads that I'll have to take off. Actually, I already, as a test, you can see right there. Okay, about 25 minutes later, I finished up sanding off all the sound dampening material with the orbital sander. It was a 150 grit, but it did a really nice job. Took that material off easily, yet leaving a pretty nice finish. I might knock it down a few steps, maybe 300, 500 grit, just to give it a once over. But I'm happy with that right there, aesthetically. Oh, so close. Almost there. I'm getting real close. See, that's a little firm. It's not really going in too deep. That's what she said. I wanted this to kind of come down maybe 2 inches to kind of act as a baffle. Bottom of the stove here. Looks pretty good. Real dirty and just a mill finish. So I'm going to go over it with the sander just to kind of touch it up, get it a little more uniform with the stove. Okay, I have a really nice clean finish here on both sides. I hit it with the 150 grit. I think I'll just stop at that. And I think this is the cleaner side. It's got one little scratch down it, but okay, I got all the holes drilled here. There's 10. And I put the fasteners in here just loosely to kind of hold its spot while I drilled some of the others. And it's looking really good. Got 10 machine screws, nuts, and lock washers. I'm not sure how necessary the lock washers are. I probably don't need those. I went back over this with a 320 grit, so it's nice and smooth. It's looking great. Looking really nice. Gonna have to cut, obviously, a hole for the door, work on a door, an air intake, and the legs. I'm gonna have to drill back through each corner and have some threaded rod lifted up, not very high, probably 8 inches or so. And gosh, yeah, that's about it. It's really coming together. Looking good. Now we're starting to look like a stove. Okay, I cut a small piece of 16 gauge here as a backer for the hinge so that when it sits on the stove, the left side will be raised up the thickness of the door on the stove side. So working on drilling some holes on that right now. 2 more to go. And hopefully we'll get this thing onto the stove here pretty soon. All right, slight change of plans here. What I think I'm gonna do, cut a little smaller. I can always cut larger, even though I don't want to, but what I'm gonna do here is, I made these little angles here. I'm gonna drill in the middle of that and then cut along this, another 1/2 inch inside from where the door is. This is the original opening, and now this is where I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna try to fold that back 90 degrees or more to give it some structure, to give it some reinforcement. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it without trashing the thing, but I'm gonna try. If I can't fold this back nicely, then I'll just forget it and then just cut, just make a clean cut all the way around on that second line. Okay, knocked out this second opening, not the primary one that I was originally going to do. I started to try to bend this stuff back, and it is absolutely solid. That's just not going to happen. I got a little bit of a bow in it there, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of start getting a radius here. This whole thing's going to start bending, and then the door's not going to fit nice and flush, so I think I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead and forget trying to reinforce it by bending it over. Got the piano hinge on there with the spacer behind it on this side. Got the latch on this side. Everything's stainless. It worked out really nice. Even the fasteners, nuts, everything, I went stainless. I'm tired. It's almost 11 o'clock, so I think I'll wait for tomorrow to do the little slider here, the air intake. But yeah, it works out really well. This even has a little resting spot here. Works out really well. So this piece right here is about, I don't know, maybe 6.5, almost 7 inches. I'm gonna fold the end up so you have something to kind of grab onto. And then 2 screws, 1 on each end, just to slide back and forth here. Open and close the holes. Okay, finally done with the last cut here, or last major cut. Got my nice little slider piece here. A little rough, but I'm happy I got some nice straight cuts on it. So I just need to hit it with the grinding wheel, clean it up a little bit, and start drilling some holes. All right, there's a little slider door for the air intake on the front. Spent about 10 minutes on the grinder here on one side, the side that I cut with the angle grinder. It wasn't exactly straight, but it was pretty close, so I just needed to touch that up. And then I hit it with the orbital sander, 150 grit, to give it a nice clean look, match the rest of the stove. Okay, I just got done drilling out the air intake cover. Drilled 3 holes here and then cleaned it up with the Dremel. 3 holes there, same thing. And then these 3 holes with a, I'm not sure what size that is, but that's the largest bit that I have for stainless. So I'm gonna have to clean it up, open it up a little bit with this thing I bought years ago for a stainless steel sink. Woo! That is it. Got some little feet on there. They're not much, but a little bit to keep it from sinking into the ground. Oops, got the air slider, or air intake slider. Okay, it just got done raining here. Got the ladder set up. I have a tripod to hold the chimney, but I was just kind of in a rush and didn't feel like messing with that right now. So just threw it on the ladder. That titanium roll-up pipe, it's 4-inch. Got my little section with the damper, the elbow, and obviously the stove. Got just a cheap piece of flashing in there for, or ductwork for a false bottom. I'll need to beef that up in the future. But I'm very happy with how everything turned out here. We'll just have to see how it burns. Let's go. Okay, this is it. This is the moment of truth. That was a very long project. Well, not that long. I knocked it out in 3 days after work, so it was probably about 15 hours. Anyway, this is it. Let's give it a try. We're cheating here. All right, it's been burning good and hot here for about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Starting to get that nice golden patina. Actually, you can't see it on the camera very well, but we are starting to get that color change. Looking good. All right, I had this burning for about 30 minutes now, maybe 45. And it's doing great. Really happy with this. Huge firebox. Just huge. It's got that nice bronze patina now that stainless gets. Anyway, I'll just let it burn down and take a look after it's done, see what it looks like, and looking forward to getting this thing out in the woods. Thanks for watching, guys.